Does the year 2023 signify a dark age for Indian democracy or the dawn of a new hope? This year has indeed been a challenging one. Civil liberties have been eroded, government control over institutions has increased, and there is a chilling effect on dissent. The voices of the people, the very foundation of a democracy, are being stifled, and the fundamental principles of freedom and justice seem to be at risk. Yet, in this seemingly bleak scenario, there emerges a beacon of hope. The Indian judiciary, with its long history of upholding the Constitution and protecting fundamental rights, is poised to navigate through these stormy waters. Despite the pressures and accusations of a cautious approach, the judiciary stands its ground, balancing the scales of justice. In this grim landscape, the judiciary emerges as a flickering light, potentially standing against the tide. The Indian judiciary, particularly the Supreme Court, has always been the guardian of the Constitution and protector of fundamental rights. But is it under pressure? In recent times, the judiciary is seen to be under increasing pressure from the executive, often accused of adopting a cautious approach and shying away from pronouncing against the government. This has led many to question its ability to maintain the balance between upholding the Constitution and challenging the executive. Renowned Indian lawyer and human rights activist Indira Jaising brings a clear perspective to this debate. She states, "The judiciary is caught in a difficult position. On the one hand, it must be independent and fearless in upholding the Constitution. On the other hand, it must be mindful of the consequences of its actions, which could lead to a confrontation with the executive and a potential crisis of governance." In essence, the judiciary is walking a tightrope, delicately balancing the need for independence and fearlessness with the potential implications of its actions. The judiciary walks a tightrope, balancing between upholding the Constitution and avoiding a potential governance crisis. Despite the challenges, there are instances where the judiciary has stood firm, offering a ray of hope. Take, for instance, the Aadhaar judgment, which struck down the mandatory linking of Aadhaar with various services safeguarding privacy rights, or the Sabarimala verdict, which challenged patriarchal norms and religious dogma by allowing women of all ages to enter the temple. Let's not forget the recent Pegasus snooping case, where the Supreme Court ordered an independent inquiry, demonstrating its commitment to holding the government accountable. Looking ahead, renowned lawyer and human rights activist Indira Jaising emphasizes the crucial role that the judiciary must play. She calls for greater judicial activism, particularly in cases involving human rights violations, freedom of speech and minority rights. She urges for upholding the principles of judicial independence and resisting any attempts to undermine it. And she advocates for engaging in constructive dialogue with other stakeholders, like civil society and the media, to build a strong public consensus on democratic values. The Indian judiciary stands at a crossroads, with the potential to be an active defender of democracy. As Indira Jaising reminds us, even in the darkest of times, the torch of justice can offer hope for a brighter future.